Hey everyone, Adam Swartz here, top real estate agent. On this week of real estate news, we're going to talk about obviously the trend that we've been talking about the last few weeks of the shortage of housing and what are we going to do to change it. And going into 2021, and especially last year of the pandemic, we're definitely seeing a down in commercial buildings. Office buildings are not being used because more people are working from home. Big box stores like the big Sears and the Kmart's and places like that are being empty because of Amazon and things like that. We're just not needing those big box stores anymore. And so what are we gonna do with that space? The one problem that people don't realize when it comes to building in California is zoning laws. It's really hard to go get zoning changed. If this is commercial area, if this is a certain size per lot, things like that, that's what hinders people from building more is zoning, permitting, all these things. Luckily for us, California is trying to figure out ways to handle all these empty buildings that we're seeing. You know, if you're from Riverside like I am, I mean, the Sears off of Arlington that's now just being a ghost town, what are they gonna do with that big open lot? Because it's not zoned for housing. Well, last week, a bill passed the California Senate stating that they're going to push down to make it easier for zoning, to change zoning. So now, to help out with the housing shortage, which in California, you know, the most valuable thing is land because you can't make more of it, right? So we have all this wasted land that's being used up by these big office buildings that could easily be changed into apartments like we were talking about Gavin Newsom wanting to do with $65 billion and converting those office buildings into affordable housing. And then two, we can demo these big parking lots and build more housing because that's what we truly need. Those are just wasted space. So I'm happy to see that California is starting to lower zoning restrictions and making it easier for us to switch so developers can build more, because what you have to think about when a developer goes into a project, everything that it costs to get rid of that project, it's not just building the house. If it has to be zoning, if it has to be changed over, it has to be all these things that take time and money that some developers just don't want to take. It's great that we're starting to see these things. The next question is going to be, if we do not figure out a way for lumber prices to go down because they've doubled in the last year, I don't see affordable housing is gonna happen, because as a developer, you have to know if you're gonna make a certain price when you sell that home. Well, if lumber and other items are costing so much that when you go to put the house on the market, you have to charge $8-9 million, is that really affordable housing? It's not. And so it should be interesting to see, hopefully, like the government's saying, that this influx of lumber costs and things like that are just gonna happen for a little bit because of coronavirus, and after we figure out these things, then the prices will go back down, which hopefully supply and demand. We have tons of supply because a lot of people are trying to build right now and not enough, or tons of demand and not enough supply. That's how we get it right. Good job, Adam. And so hopefully this is one step closer to figuring out, which, like I said, what I don't understand is how slow things move. We've had a housing crisis forever. We've had housing crisis for years, and now finally we're starting to change things, hopefully going in the right direction. What we're seeing is just, especially in the Inland Empire, if you look at last week's video talking about how we're in a bubble, and then if you look at the video before, the massive amount of people moving to this area, we just need more housing. We need more housing because we need people to be able to buy homes, because there's nothing worse, honestly, being a real estate agent and working with clients every single day. The days where you go out and buy a $300,000 house in Riverside doesn't exist anymore. The beginning of a young couple having enough of 3.5% down to be able to go purchase a home just doesn't exist anymore. I mean, currently right now I have clients that are first-time home buyers qualified for $500,000. They still can't find anything. So it's crazy to think that, you know, what our parents would have done if they had to buy $500,000. I remember my parents bought a house in Orange Crest in '91 for 113 grand. You know, those days are long gone. We need to figure out ways to change that, and more housing will help. And like I said, if you watch one of my old videos too, we need to figure out ways to lower rents, because rents have doubled in Riverside. And if people are paying so much for rent, they're never gonna be able to save enough money to never go buy a house. So we need to figure out a way to build more apartments to lower the cost in those things, and then hopefully build more houses so then more people go in, because at the end of the day, being a homeowner is a good thing. It gives people a reason to work every day, gives a reason to have pride, and it's the best way to build wealth over the years. So hopefully this video has helped. Until next time, guys, peace.